and or a source of referrals too, so never know.
I'm not gonna discount anybody that I know, so I'm good with whatever.
Yeah. Even if it's a slightly more painful conversation.
We'll just play, I send this big blog
Yeah.
message and he sends back with one word answer. Yep, I paint lines. I'm like, oh, that's not what I'm getting at. Okay. It's fine. That's, don't worry, I'm gonna try this out. I think it's a can of toothpaste. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll get my information.
Morning, Erica.
Good morning.
How are you? How's your weekend?
Good. How about you?
It was good, yeah. We'll get started in just a couple minutes here.
Okay.
Can you see us in the room okay?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, awesome. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. I think Juan is coming in person, although he might be running late, but that's okay. So just to start, I know it's been a couple weeks since we had our meeting, since we were in Anaheim for the Keller Williams conference. But did anyone attend any good classes these last couple weeks and have any takeaways or questions from that? One, Scott, did you attend any?
The class I did was the Saturday class with Margaret, where
The
she
contracts one?
did the contracts. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Mhm.
There wasn't anything that, because I didn't really already know, but it was just interesting to see a different spin on it, you know, a different take, what to
Mhm.
put where and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Did you have any questions following it?
No, not really.
No.
I was just curious about if there's a class to go over the, I think that was a listing class, but there was also a buyer's class as well to go over the buyer contract.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, I'm not sure when the next one will be held, but we typically rotate between the buyer hiring docs, the seller, and then the actual contract to buy and sell. So I would take a look at the calendar. There's also a paid class that Sue Vensel does. Do you know who she is? It's okay if you don't. She's an agent in our office, so you may have met her before. But she also teaches a class. It's 8 hours typically on a Saturday, and I want to say it's under $40 or $80. And she goes through all of the
I know there
documents.
was an 8 CE credit
That's the one.
class.
Yeah, so because it's,
$80.
yeah, so because it's for CE credit, it's paid.
Yeah.
So you could take that and get them all done in one day. It's a lot, but you go through all the contracts. However, we do have classes that will go through them. It's just obviously we don't do it in one day. It's broken into several classes. So yeah, we just take a look at the calendar for that.
I think the most interesting class I did was just the time management class.
That was with Sue, the 411.
The 411, was that with Sue?
That was with Sue.
Oh, yeah, I did that online, I guess, or
Yeah.
virtual, so
Yeah.
but I thought that was interesting,
Mhm.
and something we need to get block some time out so I can fill out the paperwork. Just block some time so I can block some time so I can get that. up and
Yeah.
running. The only question I have with that is, like, how much time should I be time blocking for Legion per day?
2 to 3 hours is
2 to 3
what most people do, yeah.
Okay.
9 to 11 or 9 to 12. Mhm. And I think Connie attended that class as well and was talking about how it was really great. So yeah, anytime you see any class involving time blocking or time management, I think it's great as a new agent because that's can be one of the hardest parts about being an agent. Anyone else attend any good classes or have any questions? No? Okay.
Okay, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Me too.
But
Awesome. Okay, so I just wanted to go through a few, hi everyone, a few questions or sorry, classes that we have coming up that will be great to attend. So tomorrow we have the family reunion recap, where we'll be taking our biggest takeaways and everything we learned from that and bringing it to y'all. So that's from 10 to 11:30 tomorrow, the 28th. And then we also have a Young Professionals Network happy hour that Taylor is putting on. So if you were born in 1990 or later, you can join us. So that is also tomorrow from 4 to 6 p.m. And then right now it's at Postino Loki. However, Taylor might be changing that location. So if you're interested in going, let me know and I can make sure we get you RSVP'd and have the correct location. So did anyone here qualify for that? Was anyone here born in 1990 or later? Juan, Evelyn, Erica, anyone else? Evan, were you born in 1990 or later? I can't hear you. It looks like you unmuted. I can't hear you. Hi. Will someone else try saying something so we can see if it's from our end or not?
Testing, 1, 2.
Okay, I can hear you, Evelyn. That might be from your end, Evan. You can, I guess, try to put it in the chat if you can't figure it out. But okay, so that was Juan, Evelyn, and Erica for sure. So let me know if any of y'all want to attend and I'll make sure y'all get the final details. The next sort of class/workshop we have coming up is on the 1st from 9 to 11. So every Wednesday, I'm going to come to the office and hang out here for a couple hours and lead generate from the training room. Oh, and I just saw. Got it. Okay, sounds good, Evan. Okay, so every Wednesday, I'm gonna come here and lead generate and just hang out, and I'd love for all of y'all to join me. You don't necessarily have to do the method I'm doing, so I'll typically be doing lead gen through social media, but you can come and do anything. You can do open house follow-up, you can make phone calls, you can write letters, any sort of activity you want to do. I'm putting this together so we can get more people to come into the office and hang out, and I feel like it creates good energy when you can hang out with other people as you're lead generating. So that will be almost every Wednesday from 9 to 11, and that will be in the calendar. I think next week on the 8th, we're not going to have it because we have a regional event, but it'll be typically every Wednesday moving forward. And then lastly, on Thursday, I'm teaching a class on how to get clients from Instagram from 10 to 11. So if you're interested in lead gen through social media, that will be a great class to attend as well. So a lot of things going on this week. However, we'd love for y'all to start plugging in to our communities and coming to hang out in the market center with us as well. You can come at any time. The code to get in is just the last 4 digits of your number. So feel free to come hang out and sit either in one of the conference rooms or one of the public areas during that. So any questions about these announcements?
Or was the grand one, you said?
Thursday from 10 to 11. And that's in the calendar as well. Oh, and I did want to say with the lead generation on Wednesdays, that's going to be in person only. So that will not be via Zoom because we want you to come in and get that energy of hanging out with us. So that'll be just in person only. If you can't make it in person, of course, you can do lead gen from wherever you are at that time. You just won't be obviously able to see us. So any other questions?
What time is that?
9 to 11.
9 to 10. Okay.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Let's see. So before we move into our lead generation focus for today, did anyone have any good wins from this last couple weeks? Connie, you look like you were saying something.
Oh, no, I just said what I did. Did you ask me something?
I asked everyone, but if you want to share, you can. It was.
Oh, no, I thought you directed something to me and you're kind of echoey, so I couldn't understand you. I'm kind of having a hard time understanding you because you are kind of echoey on this end. So that's all.
Sorry, we've been having issues with this sound bar in here. Can you understand me okay?
I can right now, but I thought you directed a question toward me and that's why I kind of popped up and was like, what? So that's all.
That's okay. And then Evelyn, it looks like you raised your hand.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I actually had my apartment complex's event this weekend. So she ended up creating a build your own pizza event. So went up, help her set up, and then I actually also got to meet a lot of our residents. It was a really good turnout. I think we had maybe about 30 or 40 people show up. She was actually telling me that it was a really successful event, probably the most successful she's had. And she was like, I actually think I need to give credit to you because when you went door knocking, that's what helped have such a good turnout.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, so she immediately saw the value that you provided with that. Yeah, that's awesome. Did you get any, did you meet anyone or get any good contact info from them?
I handed out a few business cards. A lot of them were just like parents with all their kiddos. So they had kids running around all over the place. So they were more like, but I was just like, you know what, just take my card and then we'll talk later.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's awesome. And then when is the next event coming up? Didn't you say there's one in March?
Yes. So she tries to do an event each month, just like I'm trying to do for like major holidays and such. She is thinking of creating maybe like a little scavenger hunt. So I think that's going to be fun.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, keep up the good work. I think that's a great community involvement paired with kind of door knocking as well. I think that's a great region method. And then let me see what else. I have some notes. Did you get a chance to film those 3 videos you were talking about, Evelyn?
So I was able to film 2 of the 3. I was able to film a house that I went to go preview, and I was able to create content out of that. I did reach out to the agent and it took her a while. So when I got to the appointment, my set time, she hadn't responded. So I just went ahead and recorded anyway, but I did send her a message following her up as soon as I was leaving. I told her, hey, I didn't get a word back from you. I decided to record anyway, but just know that I'm not going to use any of this content until you give me permission. And then she called me maybe about 2 hours later and she was just like, hey, like, I'm really sorry. I was just busy, but yes, you can go ahead and use that content. So I've been working on editing the videos that I got. And then I also recorded the first 10 steps in the home buying process.
Awesome, that's great. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to hear back, so I think you handled that well with them. And then let's see, Scott, I have written down from last time you wanted to start time blocking a little bit more. Did you get a chance to do that?
I did
A little bit?
a little bit.
Yeah, and it sounds like that class you attended, that class was last week, correct?
Yeah, it was like Thursday or Friday of last week.
Okay. So do you feel like you got some good knowledge you can now apply for your
Yeah.
time blocking? Okay, that's good. And then, let's see, Juan, I have from a couple weekends past, you wanted to, did you make your business page yet?
Yeah, I made the business page. I started to take the professional picture. So right now it's just kind of like a profile picture.
Yeah,
But I have the page of the pages up and just continue to work
awesome.
on making it look better.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, if you don't have a headshot, I think any photo is fine. I would rather see you put something up and then change it later versus just have it be no face. Yeah. So.
I'm smiling in the pictures.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's most important. And then Connie, you also mentioned that you were gonna work on your schedule this weekend. Did you get a chance to do that?
Yeah, I have, yep, I have worked on it and yes, yeah. Yeah,
Awesome. Did you finish your rough draft or are you still working on it?
I pretty much have, you know what, there's some things I need to add in and work on it some more. So anyway, the time blocking thing was huge. So yeah, working on it.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, that's awesome. Never want to put y'all on the spot, just want to check in and see what progress y'all are making. So I'm starting to take notes from what y'all mentioned in these meetings and when I text y'all, and I just want to follow up and make sure I'm helping with any questions or helping you make progress. I also think it's great for the other people here to hear what you're doing with lead generation in your business, because a lot of y'all have overlapping questions or issues. Like I know time blocking has been something that several of y'all have brought up to me. So awesome. Thanks everyone for participating, and I'll continue to make notes and follow up with y'all on those things. So let me share my screen really quick. Okay, so today we're going to focus on your sphere of influence as a lead generation method. So I think pretty much all of y'all have your sphere added as one of your lead generation methods. And if you don't, I highly recommend it because it's one of the easiest, because these are people that already know, like, and trust you and are willing to work with you as their agent. So let me try to zoom in. It's pretty small. Okay, so has anyone heard of the 36 touch campaign before?
I think so.
One, yeah. You want on soon? No. Okay, just checking. So that's what we're going to go through today. So the number of touches really doesn't matter if you have 32 or if you have 50, it really doesn't matter. 36 is just a number that Keller Williams uses to show you a range of different touches that you can incorporate with your sphere of influence. And these can overlap with your other lead generation methods as well. So we'll start with the first category that has the most number of touches. So this is 12. So it's 36 in 1 year. So this is 12. So 1 per month. So it can be a combination of 12 mailings, letters, cards, emails, or drop-offs, which might include your business card. And it could be things like a letter of introduction, your personal brochure, market reports, just solds, your personal newsletter, recipe cards, property alerts, news or articles, calendars, invitations, directories like vendor directories that you put together, promotional items, and a monthly neighborhood nurture. So the most common one in this category is a monthly email newsletter. And another common one is the monthly neighborhood nurture, which Command has that smart plan that sets them up on that nurture. So to do that one, you will need to have someone's address or know where they are looking or wanting to buy. If not, you won't be able to put them on that smart plan, but you could put them on another smart plan like your monthly email newsletter. So a great format for the email newsletter is home buying or selling information, market info, some sort of ask for a referral or ask for the business, And then I always like to include something that's going on in my personal life to make it more appealing to people who maybe don't care as much about the real estate side of things. So I would always include a section that says what I've been up to, and then I'll include a photo of myself hiking or something like that. So there's not one specific type of newsletter that format that works best. You can kind of test variations and see what gets the best response, but I would definitely include at least some sort of information about real estate and make sure you're asking for referrals or asking for the business. So any questions about this section so far?
So like real estate newsletter, you're saying something real estate related, like the buying and selling process is sent to them, as well as something personal. So start off with something personal. And then be like, did you know that? I don't know, like how would that look?
Yeah, so typically people include market information, so you can get that info from either, manually searching on the MLS on your own, or the RE Colorado does send out an email. I think it's once or twice a month of market stats. Andrea, who works for Land Title out of this market center, also sends out stats. So I would pull info that you get from them to start, because they often have pre-made graphics or info that you can pretty much just copy paste into the email. And then with real estate info, I think it's really great to include information educating them about the process of buying or selling, not just the market. So I would include maybe a little paragraph about the power of getting pre-approved, for example, and maybe you could include Mitch's info with that as well. So the info, and a great place to find that information is when you create your buyer consultation in Command. They have those templates for you to do so. They have information about the process in that packet. So I would just copy paste paragraphs from that. So I don't want you to spend a lot of time on this, and it's just one of the touches of the 36 ones. So I would try to pull third-party resources like RE Colorado's emails and the buyer consultation templates to save time. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? And then I will add, when it comes to mailings or letters, I would think about the cost over time. Like most lead generation methods, you can't just send one mailer and expect to get a result. You need to do it over and over again. So if you are wanting to send mailers every month or ever so often, I would plan out that cost ahead of time and make sure it works for your budget. I would even potentially set that money aside. That being said, like I said, emails are the most common monthly touch, and they're free. So I think they're a great thing to start with as a new agent. And then with a letter of introduction, let me actually show y'all 1 second. In the KW coaching resources folder that I've shared with all of y'all, under the lead generation folder, there's a real estate agent announcement letter. So here's just a template for a letter to your friends, family, anyone, letting them know you're in real estate. You can copy paste this and just replace your info, or you can go through and kind of edit these, match your voice more. This could also be a great script for a post on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. So when I started as an agent, I took this letter and I put it into my first email. And then I also included that I was going to start emailing them regularly with market info, etc., and to let me know if they didn't want to receive that email. And no one had anything, no one asked not to be included, but I thought it was nice to at least let them know I was going to start email them. So again, that's in the resources folder, and the packet that we're going through today is also in that folder as well. Any questions about that letter? Okay, let me scroll back down. And then let me see what else. Drop-offs are a great thing. Those are often referred to as pop-bys. So if you have any anyone in your sphere that it would be okay for you to come drop by their house and visit with them, that's a great thing. That's kind of like what Evelyn is doing with door knocking, where she's including her business card. So I think anytime you're, knocking on someone's door, it's great to at least have your business card to give to them or something physical so that they are able to remember you after you leave. And then, let's see, any other questions about this section? Nope. Okay, so now let's move on to the next one, which is 8 touches, so a little less than 1 month, and that's thank you or thinking of your cards. So if you're someone who likes to write handwritten letters, this is a great one. If you're not, I would turn this into like a Facebook DM, and I would maybe say the person likes cats. I would go on Facebook, find a random photo of a cat and send it to them and just say, I saw this and it made me think of you. Facebook might be a little harder, but with Instagram, it's really easy to search hashtags and find photos, so I would do that. I think these can be really powerful because it makes the person feel good, like you're thinking of them and you're not. This is the touch where I wouldn't necessarily ask for business. I would just use this as the touch where you're trying to get closer to them emotionally. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, any questions about this section? Nope. Okay, so the next one is 4 telephone calls. So this is once every quarter, and Command does have a smart plan for this, the quarterly call plan that you can use. If you're not a caller, you can text as well, and you can set up the smart plan to remind you to text versus call. So I would definitely at least do a text for this because it's really great. While the emails are great and you're doing those more often, they're not as strong of a form of communication as texting is, or calling as well. Any questions about this section?
Yes, sorry. So I was actually, I used to be part of a marketing group on Facebook, and somebody brought up something regarding like a Mother's Day post that I thought was very interesting. I think it was like a newsletter or something like that, and her mother had passed away. So they had actually sent like an option to stop receiving like Happy Mother's Day notifications and stuff like that. Is there a way we can do that as well? Because I think that was actually very, very intelligent.
The only thing about, well, yes, however, it's kind of hard to structure because if someone unsubscribes, say from that smart plan on Command, they would be unsubscribing to all of your emails, which you don't want them to do. So you could ask them to just respond to the email and ask to be removed maybe from that tag. You could set up a Mother's Day tag, but I would be careful about people unsubscribing. Another way to deal with that is you could add some sort of section like Happy Mother's Day to anyone, whether you're a mother of humans, animals, anything like that. You could also say like, if you were grieving, let me know. I'd love to like chat with you, or something where you're addressing people who maybe are grieving during this day. So I think I would lean toward including that section versus just letting them know they can unsubscribe. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so that brings up a good point. I would be careful if you're pushing out information to everyone. I would be, if it's not relevant to them, I would know that they may unsubscribe. So I would maybe include some sort of sentence or paragraph making it more relevant to them so that they're willing to stay subscribed. I will say with emails, I've had people unsubscribe from emails and yet they don't care if I text or call them or talk to them through social media. Sometimes people just get overwhelmed by all of the emails they get. So I would not be worried about that one at all. I've had people unsubscribe and then become clients. And I remember the first time that happened, I thought it was really strange. And yet it came up naturally over, throughout our conversations that they just get so many emails and they just would rather stay in touch with me a different way. So any other questions? No, okay, so the next section is personal observance cards, or this could also be text, calls, videos, or social media. So great thing about Facebook is they have all of people's birthdays who have entered them on there, so you can always go find birthdays on Facebook. So I would go do that maybe every week, and Facebook can let you see birthdays coming up, not just that day. So I would do that and either message them through Facebook, or I would maybe film a short video and text it to them or send it through Facebook. Anniversaries is another good one. LinkedIn has work anniversaries on it, so that's a great place to find those. And then we kind of talked about Mother's Day, Father's Day, graduation, anniversary of their home purchase is great once you have those clients. So yeah, like I said, you can do these as cards or any sort of other communication as well. With this 36 touch, like I said, you know, the number of touches does not matter if it varies a little bit, and the way that you're doing does not matter as much either. What really matters is having a good number of touches and then being a variety of content or a variety of communication methods. So if you had 36 emails in a year, that would probably come off as spammy and you would have a lot more unsubscribes. But if you're mixing in other forms of communication, it becomes less spammy. And if they unsubscribe or ask not to be communicated with in a certain way, you can then lean on the other methods for that person. Any questions? No? Okay. The next one is holidays. So this could be maybe something you're posting on social media and DMing to people, or sending them a message through social media as well, or text. And then the fourth one is client events. So this one's last, because this requires the most work. That being said, you could do smaller client events, like you could invite one person to coffee every week or every other week. You could also put together a small group of friends to hang out, grab a drink, go do an activity. And a great thing I always like to do with small get-togethers is ask the people I'm inviting to invite someone that I don't know. You can just phrase it as, you know, I'd love to meet more people who have this interest in common with us. Do you have any friends that I haven't met yet that would want to go to the park with us, or whatever you're doing? That's a great way to expand your sphere and leverage communication, because you're not just meeting with one person, you're meeting with several people at once. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay, any questions about this?
So you're inviting somebody out to lunch or something, and you wanna get lunch with them, see if they have friends that you don't know that would wanna come to lunch as well. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I'm always a fan of doing less expensive things if you're putting it as part of your business plan. So I would choose like coffee or tea or a drink or something over lunch. You're not expected to pay for them, but if you're trying to do this on a weekly basis, it can start to get pretty expensive. So yes, and then you could do it. You could either just invite one person and have them invite someone, or you can invite a group of people. Say you invite 2 or 3 friends to catch up and then have them invite 2 or 3. So then it would be 4 to 6, yeah. Does that make sense? Any other questions? Just notice we have a chat. Okay, got it. Thanks, Connie. Hope you have a good week too. Bye. Okay, does anyone do any of these touches so far?
I just have the nurturing fund.
You have the neighborhood one? Yeah.
Bi-weekly.
Yeah, have you gotten any good feedback from that?
Just that they like it, they like seeing what's in the neighborhood, looking to the houses, so it's like positive feedback.
Yeah, that's a great one. People always seem to love that, and they don't have to go searching for the info, it comes right to them. And you don't have to go searching for the info either, it's all automated, so, yeah. Anyone else done any of these?
I've done the holidays one through door knocking, and I've also I've done the client events, not personally like me, but I have been inviting friends to go out to coffee every day, every week. And I actually have one set up for this upcoming Saturday as well.
Nice. Yeah, and you are also doing client events, you're leveraging someone else's event to attend as well with your apartment. So yeah, that's great. I'm always a fan of leveraging something else or leveraging someone's knowledge, like with the emails we get. I think it saves a lot of time and it helps you learn too. If you don't feel like you know the market that well or know the home buying and selling process that well, it's okay. And as you pull those resources and put it into emails and, you know, read through that, it'll help you learn it more moving forward. Anyone else tried any of these things so far? No, okay, and then I'd love for everyone to share which section or sections they want to add and get done, hopefully in the next few weeks. Someone will start in the room. Scott, what about you?
You know, obviously phone calls I've been doing. You know, I guess client events and just inviting people out, you know, to like lunch and stuff to hang out once a week.
So you said you've been doing the phone calls so far?
Yeah,
Okay, how's that been going?
the phone calls, good enough, I guess, but it's just more catching up more than anything else at this point, and then trying to see what real estate into that conversation without seeming pushy, scripty.
Yeah. Yeah, are you following the Ford script format for any of the questions you're asking? Just more informally?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think those are good calls. I mean, they don't always have to involve real estate. And that's why we teach and ignite the Ford script and we call them care calls too, because it's really just trying to get in better relationship with these people and they will learn over time that you're an agent. And so it'll benefit both your business and your personal life as well.
Right.
Yeah, okay, so client events, any others?
I mean, probably like, you know, I've been sending direct messages in Facebook to people that I don't have contact info for whatever reason. You know, all the people that I have like on Facebook, I think it's just a matter of like switching phones and stuff. I've lost actual people
Yeah.
over the years and yeah, so just direct message and then I haven't quite figured out how to spin that and gain a phone number from them exactly. And I guess that's probably where inviting them out to lunch or coffee or drinks or something would probably help. Because it's like, hey, we should like meet up like at such and such place. What's your phone number without coming off as like, hey, what's your phone number? You know, like all kind of like.
Yeah, so it is okay to ask straight up. You can just say, you know, somehow through the years I lost your phone number. You mind giving it to me so I can make sure I have it. Or you could say, you know, I prefer to text over Facebook message, and then you could turn the conversation to text. Or yes, you could combine it with one of these other activities and have more of a reason. So I think it's okay to just ask right up front, but as you're getting started, if you want that excuse for meeting them for coffee or whatever, I think that's okay. Yeah, awesome. And then Juan, what about you?
Well, I'm already doing the nurturing plan one, which I think is a good one, and then I want to add some telephone to it, just to like hear people over the phone, because I send a lot of messages and talk to a lot of people through Messenger and social media, and I've been trying to post a lot of things on social media too, just to keep it in people's hands out on real estate. But yeah, the telephone one I think would be a good one, and then like taking people out to coffee just to like catch up or whatever and just talk about whatever. Real estate will get brought up eventually, but since you never need to catch up, then those two would be some good ones that I need to add to.
Yeah, and have you seen the Smart Plan and Command, the quarterly call one?
I think you showed it to me. Yeah, I haven't used it, but is it just like reminding to call every quarter?
Yeah, so it puts it as a task in your calendar and you can split it up to where it's not having you call everyone the same day or same week. So I would do that and then it starts automatically reminding you. So it helps a lot as you start to get busy. You don't have to worry that you forgot to call someone or, yeah, anything like that, so, yeah.
I would say, like, I have that plan set up for everybody that put in all. So how does it organize that so that not everybody drops in at the same time?
So you have to do that yourself. If you put everyone in at the same time, it's gonna do it at the same time. To split it up, you have to like add, when you add a group, it can have you, it lets you choose whether to start immediately or what date. So I would maybe, have you already done it, did you say?
And I've done it for probably like 75 people.
Okay, so maybe the next batch of people you add, or maybe the next 10 people, I would have it start, make sure it's starting a week or so after the group of 75 people. Does that make sense? So it's manual, but as you're setting it up, you can set it up for the future.
So those 75 people, when I, call like 20 people on a day, they're all gonna drop back in on the same exact day, 3 months from now.
Mhm,
Would be my guess, I'll have the same.
mhm. So you'll get all of the tasks on the same day.
Right.
So you don't necessarily have to do them on the same day, but it's a little overwhelming to be told that you need to call 75 people on the same day. So it helps to kind of check out. Yeah, but you can go back and you can, edit that and make it more purposeful in that way.
Especially because some conversations are like 45 minutes to an hour, so like 75 calls, somebody takes up 45 minutes and go and be like, I gotta go, by the way.
Yeah,
I got things to do, I got other people to call,
yeah.
74 more people.
Funny. Yeah, some people like to talk a lot more than others, so. Awesome, and then let's move to Zoom. Erica, what is your section that you want to focus on?
So Brea already knows this, but I'm new to everybody else. So I'm just working on establishing like website and social media and things like that. So I think particularly like the letter of introduction or like social media post introduction, that kind of stuff feels particularly relevant.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a great first post is the introduction. And once you get your business card from Elizabeth, that's a great, another first post is to take a photo of that. Or maybe if you get a headshot done to share that. But yeah, that script and that letter is great. And you can, it doesn't have to just be a letter. It can be any sort of communication like email or social media. So awesome. And then Evelyn, what about you?
So I'm already working on a few of these. We've already talked about the holidays and client events. I need to get better about checking Facebook every day to see who has birthdays, because every like 2 or 3 days I'll log on and I'll be like, it was their birthday and I had a perfect chance to tell them happy birthday. Or, it'll come up as a notification on my phone and I'll go in and I'll say happy birthday to those. I've also done them with like pregnancies or engagements. So I'm doing the personal observance, quote unquote, cards. And just yesterday, I was going through Facebook and I saw a post that reminded me of a high school friend. And I downloaded it and I sent it off to her. And I was just like, hey, this really made me think of you. Remember of this time, blah, blah, blah. And we just had a really good conversation from there, being like, oh my gosh, that was such good times and blah, 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 right? And I think for sure I want to get on top of the first one, the mailings, letters, emails, all that good stuff. I think that one for sure is going to help out a lot, especially because that one's the highest number of touches.
Mhm. Yeah, and have you seen on Facebook how you can see people's birthdays ahead of time?
I know that it shows me like birthdays from like the last couple of days. I don't know about future ones though.
Let's see, because I'm pretty sure.
When you log people into command drops people, it shows you ahead of time.
It does, yeah. So on my Facebook, it shows up on the right side, birthdays. And oh, that's interesting. It usually shows upcoming ones. Oh wait, here we go. See upcoming birthdays. So this is just showing me, so that was past ones, and then these are all future ones. So I would, let me see how far in the future it shows. So March 5th, which is, let me see. That's 6 days from today. So I would create a task and command or a smart plan to remind you every 6 days to come to Facebook, and just, I would go through. And if you missed a birthday, you can always say happy late birthday, that's okay. And I would do it, and people always like to be wished happy birthday early because it makes them think that you were thinking of them, when in reality you were just on Facebook stalking them, which is okay. So yeah, I would go through this every 6 days and wish everyone happy birthday.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And then, Evan, what was your one thing or one section? I'm not sure if we'll be able to hear you. Let me try. Let's see if I can fix. Do you want to put it in the chat instead? I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. Okay, any other thoughts anyone has, or any other questions about this 36 touch plan that we just went over? No? Okay, does everyone feel like they have something to work on this next week?
Yes, for sure.
And then I also wanted to touch on these additional touches, so you can add these into the 36 touch plan if this matches your business plan or fits into your interests. So we're not going to go through all of these, but for example, let's see, a community block party could be a great one. Santa pictures with your sphere. Seminars, if you're interested in lead gen through social media, seminars could fit into that pretty well. Let me see, it's funny, it says hand deliver coffee to 10 people per month. I maybe would just invite them to coffee instead. And okay, got it. Evan says emailing and reaching out on social media for birthday and such. You did a reverse trick or treat Halloween. That's a smart idea. Okay, let me write that down really quick. Okay. And then you also did a lot of coffee dates. Yeah, those are one of my favorite activities because they're easy and a great way to catch up with someone. When you were giving it, was that the first, your first home book, Evan? Yes, awesome. Yeah, that's a great book to give away, the Your First Home book. It was written by Gary Keller and Jay Papasan. So anyone you know that might be interested in buying, that's a great way to help expand their learning. You can also give them other books like The One Thing, for example. However, that's the Your First Home book is a great one related to real estate. So let's see. So do any of these touches seem like something you would want to add to your 36 touch plan? Anyone? Please, oh, go ahead, Ellen.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that for the next community event that we have, for this one, I was just using it as like a test run to see how it was gonna work. But I think for the next one, I want to set up a little table and kind of set up a Starbucks gift card giveaway. But in order to qualify, you have to give me like your name, your phone number, email, and address kind of deal. That way I can use that as like lead generation.
Yeah, and that's great. Yeah, people love free things, and it doesn't have to be something very expensive. It can be $5 to Starbucks, and you'll be surprised how many people are willing and excited to do that. So I think that's great. And I just noticed Evan says a community block party. Yeah, that's a great one. Some of these are more expensive, like for example, if you're offering a window cleaning, but a way you could leverage that is you could connect with a vendor and ask them for a discount for your database, maybe 5 to 10% off. And then you could push that out to your database and provide them with that value, and then the vendor is getting new clients and new business and giving a small discount. So there are ways you can leverage these activities and do them to be less expensive. I'm always a fan of starting with really low cost lead generation methods, especially as a new agent. Any other ones stand out to anyone?
I'm writing down pictures with pets.
Is that one on here? Oh, yeah, it is.
And then
Yeah.
sports bracket.
Yeah, those are great ones. Yeah, the pictures with pets is awesome. That's another one where you could leverage the vendor and maybe they might be willing to do it for free if you collect everyone's information. And then you could just set up in a park and take some photos there. Yeah. Awesome. Anyone else like any of these? Okay, so I'm gonna stop the share. So I hope that gave y'all a good idea of how to get in better contact with your sphere and how to automate a lot of the activities, because as we've been talking about time blocking and time management, it's great to automate as much as possible, even if you're just automating a task reminder for you to call someone. It removes a lot of the thinking and stress, and it lets you organize your days a lot better, because you can start each day by pulling up command, looking at the tasks, and then knowing exactly what you need to do that day. So any other questions about lead gen for your sphere? Anyone? No? Okay. And then, we kind of talked about this with sphere specifically. However, I'd love to go through and get everyone's one thing that they're going to focus on and try to complete this next week. So we can go in the same order again. Scott, what's your one thing?
I think the big thing for me is getting the pages that I got from the time blocking class that I went to, getting that filled out, and then tweak upon me, just being held accountable to making sure that that kind of stuff gets done.
Yeah, and actually, let me show you, because in the resources folder under the business planning and tracking section, so we have the GPS, which is what we do together in our first meeting, and then there's also a blank 411. So is this what she went over?
Something similar.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then there's also an example 411 filled out.
Yeah, I think hers is different, but I mean, it's definitely similar, and she emailed that stuff over.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, the 411 is a great tool. It kind of breaks down your.
But maybe
Yes.
this also use the example template to make sure that touching what I want.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, sounds good. And then Juan, what's your one thing for this week?
My one thing for this week would be the phone calls.
Okay.
And then just going on the classes that I can to keep learning to better my skills.
Awesome. Okay. And then Erica, what's your one thing?
Kind of similar to what I said earlier, like getting websites and profiles off the ground.
Okay, and that letter of intro too as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then Evelyn, what's yours?
I have a bunch on my mind right now. But I think the main one is to finally put out that video that I did on my YouTube and do a shorter version on my TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And then on top of that, I also want to secure my sponsor for my March event, for my St. Patrick's Day event.
Okay, awesome. And then Evan, do you want to put yours in the chat? Secure sponsor. Great. And I'm just writing these all down so I can keep up to date with what all of y'all are working on this week. Give a few seconds for you. Any other questions from today? Okay, working on entering more contacts into command and reaching out. That's a great one, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it takes time to enter things into command, but the more you get entered in, the more you can put them on smart plans and automate the tasks. So it definitely is something that you should try to work on as a new agent and on a weekly basis as you're meeting people, maybe through social media or open houses. You can add them to command and start to touch them in more ways than just your original method. Awesome. Any other questions? Nope. Any final thoughts? Awesome. Yeah, that's a great book, Evan. Yeah, I highly recommend that as the first or one of the first books you read as an agent, the MREA book, or it's sometimes referred to as the Red Book. It's really great. For those who are interested in time blocking, the One Thing book is really great as well. So any final thoughts? Nope. Okay, sounds good. Thanks everyone for joining. I hope to see y'all in one of the classes this week, and if not, I'll see y'all next Monday.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you, Brea.
You're welcome.